Thank you so much for joining us on the Ektv News at 7. I am Tosin Olowo. President Bola Tinubu has announced a series of national honors to both living and deceased figures who played significant roles in the fight for democracy, particularly those connected to the June 12 struggle. Tinubu conferred national honor of GCON on Professor Wole Soyinka and gave award of CON on the former INEC chairman of Ringwoso, Femi Falana, and Professor Olatunji Dari, and publisher of Vanguard newspaper Sam Amuka Pemo. He also honored prominent journalists including Mr. Kunle Ajibade, Nosa Igbebo, and Dapo Olonyomi with ON. The president conferred the posthumous award of GCFR on former Chief of Staff Chewu Musa Yar'Adua, and Warrior Admiral Ndubisi Kanu was given CON. Parfred Wani bagged CFR, and Baguda Kalto ON. The wife of the late MKU Abiola Kudirat received CFR. They also granted posthumous pardon to the Ogoni 9 led by Saruwiwa who were convicted and killed during General Sani Abacha's regime and gave them national honors also. And President Tinubu has paid glowing tribute to his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari for officially recognizing June 12 as Nigeria's Democracy Day, describing the move as a bold step in correcting historical injustice and honoring the will of the people. Tinubu made the remarks during his address to a joint session of the National Assembly to mark Democracy Day. He said that Buhari's decision to designate June 12 as Democracy Day in honor of the late MKO Abiola reflected the nation's resolve to uphold the truth of democracy journey. He reaffirmed his commitment to safeguarding Nigeria's democracy. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has commended President Bola Tinubu for transforming Nigeria into a renewed and hopeful nation through democratic reforms. Akpabio gave the commendation at the joint sitting of the National Assembly to mark this year's Democracy Day. He hailed Tinubu as a veteran of the trenches of the fight for democracy and symbol of democratic resistance, who has now emerged as a beneficiary of the people's trust. And Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodo Yebanji has congratulated Nigerians on the celebration of the June 12 Democracy Day. Governor Yebanji noted that 26 years of unbroken democracy is a great milestone for Nigeria, especially considering the huge respect it confers on the country in the community of nations. Governor Yebanji, in a statement by his special advisor on media, Nko Yebode, hailed the role played by prominent democracy activists, including President Bola Tinubu, in joining other compatriots to fight for the restoration of civil rule in the country. The governor noted that President Bola Tinubu was a prominent voice for the revalidation of the result of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, result won by Chief Moshood Abiola, who has been widely acknowledged as a symbol of democracy being enjoyed by Nigerians. Governor Yebanji also paid tribute to the late Chief Abiola on other matters of democracy, noting that no efforts should be spared in ensuring that their deaths are not in vain. The 2023 Labour Party's presidential candidate Peter Obi has charged President Bola Tinubu to stop governance by remote control in Nigeria. Obi charged Tinubu to travel around Nigeria and feel the pains of the citizens. He gave the charge while taking a comprehensive look at the 2-year reign of Tinubu and concluded that a lot is not right in governance, delivery, and policies of the administration. At a press briefing in Abuja to mark the 12th anniversary Democracy Day titled, he said that the hunger crisis arising from food insecurity has deepened in 2 years. And the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Chief Olufalaye, said that Nigerian democracy has come to stay, declaring that it is now impossible for the military to rule the country again. Falaye, who is now Olu of Aboyin Ondo State, acknowledged that the country deserved to celebrate its 26 years of uninterrupted democracy. Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) has emphasized the importance of good governance, fair elections, and the protection of democratic values as essential pillars for the country's democratic development. In a statement signed by CAN President Archbishop Daniel Oko, the Christian body reaffirmed that good governance is the foundation of any thriving democracy, and urged leaders at all levels to commit to transparency, accountability, and service to the people. Archbishop Oko reflected on the legacy of the 1993 presidential elections, describing it as a beacon of hope and a demonstration that credible elections are achievable when there is genuine political will. He called on Nigerians to promote unity, peace, and mutual respect, while urging the government to uphold religious freedoms, addressing security, insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping, and provide justice for victims of religious violence. The Pan-Yoruba Socio-Economic and Political Organization Afenifere Ekiti State has joined the rest of the nation to commemorate this year's Democracy Day, the day which serves as a solemn reminder of Nigeria's struggle for democratic governance and honors the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, MK Abiola. At the joint meeting, the Ekiti Afenifere paid tribute to Chief MK Abiola, acknowledging his immense sacrifice to the pursuit of democracy, recognizing the lasting impact of his legacy on Nigerian democratic development. And still on the issue of democracy, a university don, Professor Taiwo Oweye, has described June 12 saga as the beginning of democratic change in the country, on which the 26 years of present unbroken democratic process is built on. Professor Oweye gave the submission at a special program organized by the Afenifere Renewal Group, Ekiti State Chapter, in collaboration with the Ekiti State Government, to mark 32nd second anniversary of June 12 victory of MK Abiola. We'll bring you details of that report in the course of this bulletin. Now, moving on, Nigerians have been charged to exercise more patience with the present administration to the nation's democracy involves. A cross-section of citizens in Ifakekiti gave the charge while reflecting on June 12 and the gains of democracy. Kelechi David has details.
Nigeria marks Democracy Day, commemorating June 12, 1993, widely regarded as the freest election in the country's history. Chief MKO Abiola won the poll, but the military annulled it, triggering mass protests and a pro-democracy struggle. Abiola's Hope 93 campaign promised unity, justice, and an end to poverty. He was jailed in 1994 after declaring himself president and died in custody in 1998.
The people of this country went to polls on Saturday, June 12, 1993, and without let or hindrance chose me as their president. Didn't they?
In 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari officially recognized June 12 as Democracy Day, replacing May 29, and also conferred Abiola with the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, Nigeria's highest national honor. President Bola Tinubu, a key figure in the pro-democracy movement, commended the move as justice restored. In 2023 general elections, Tinubu's renewed hope agenda mirrored Abiola's vision of national transformation, focusing on economic recovery, reforms, and social welfare. Some Ekiti residents said that June 12 remained a symbol of sacrifice, resilience, and Nigeria's democratic journey.
Man proposes, God disposes. It's unfortunate that we couldn't make it, but we thank God for the president now, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, because he was part of the event and the role he played. And that's why we are having renewed hope, because the slogan then for Abiola is hope.
The hope of Nigeria was that when the election was announced that no, the election was not this, was not that. So June 12 is a day that every Nigerian is supposed to be in the history book of we Nigerians. The hope we are talking about now is for the rich few. That is why on average Nigerian, if you see an average Nigerian on the street, you ask him that is he patriotic because of the election, he will say no. Because now it is only the few that are in power are enjoying this hope.
The main reason why those our heroes fought this battle, they did not allow it to manifest.
It's neutral. It's a yes and no. In some parts we're enjoying it, and in some other parts we're not enjoying it.
On the performance of the state government, the people commended Governor Biodun Oyebanji for improvements in infrastructure and governance.
God really prepared him for the task he's into. I knew him years back, and I know how far God has gone with him pertaining to Ekiti. He was part of the initial democratic government in the Ekiti state during the government of His Excellency Niyi Adebayo.
Thank God by next week they will start paying their salary. The people owing me, they will start paying me. See, that salary alone is giving me joy, and thank you.
However, BSCS observed that some citizens have little or no knowledge of Democracy Day and the significance of June 12, with some respondents saying they were not yet born during the June 12, 1993 election. Were you born then? Do you know that time, or do you witness the election?
No. I was told that Democracy Day is when MP Abiola then.
A general election was conducted in Nigeria, and it was unheard actually, whereby MP Abiola was in prison.
Kelechi David reporting.
Today mark June 12 as Democracy Day. A lot of issues are raising concerns about the stability and integrity of Nigerian democratic process. One of such issues is the rate political office holders are defecting from one political party to another. In this report, our man Abayomi takes a look at the rate of crossing carpeting in Nigerian politics and its effects. The report.
There's a large crowd here. They are arresting me on an allegation of felony, nameless treason or something like that.
June 12 in Nigeria commemorates the restoration of democracy in 1999. This year's celebration takes on a different tone with the ongoing trend of political office holders defecting from their parties to join others. The trend is sparking debates about the health of Nigeria's democracy, which people say it has its foundation from June 12, 1993 general elections. Record shows that the trend of defections among political office holders in Nigeria has been on the rise, with many lawmakers switching allegiance. Recent records show a significant number of defections, including the 12 senators, members of the House of Representatives, and state governors.
To resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party and declare for the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately.
Having completed the rounds of my consultation as your servant that you have elected to serve you, I have therefore decided to progressively move to the All Progressive Congress.
The trend, some public affairs analysts said, it raises concerns about the stability and integrity of Nigeria's democratic process, while some described it as a new development characterized by the personality of the people in power.
According to late MP Abiola, that if there is no opposition, the beauty of democracy will not be shown, because in the Western world there is a room for defection also, but there is political ideology over there. But in Nigeria, I believe we are working towards that.
Regardless of the defection, there are still people on the other side that will always challenge the policies of government. But the way I look at it, people who are defecting from one party to another, they have their reasons. It may not be pecuniary, no, it may not be for selfish consideration. It may be because they believe in the leadership at the moment.
In countries that are much more developed than Nigeria, you can't say such a thing happening. It is not good for our democratic development. People don't want to, they are not patient at all. They don't want to build. They just want to reap. They don't want to sow. A good democracy needs somebody to put it on his toes. A good government needs someone to put it on his toes. There must be opposition.
Defection to me is hallelujah. And why do I say that? Because the quality, the man who is governor, the man is him of affair, is doing well. Not that some people are saying that he's bribe. No, because the man is performing well. That's why people are now defending.
I don't believe it has a much negative effect on our democracy. That is my own belief, because either you are in APC or you are in PDP or you are in SDP, you are serving the general citizen of Nigeria and not the party interest. So I believe that such service can be done in any political party.
New development is taking place in Nigeria, but it's somehow hard, in which that those that are defecting seek truth and see future in what is happening in the present administration.
Defecting from one party to another, especially from other party to APC, I can see it as maybe the